Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Of course, if you haven't figured it out, it's Halloween night. My name is Kent, the channel is EOS San Diego, and this should be a fun video. Simply because I have my glasses on and I can't see anything, because the only thing I use glasses for is to read, and I got to read a few things tonight. Because I've been made quite a few challenges, and I want to talk about some of the challenges I've been made. So if you made me a challenge, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I told everybody a few nights ago that I wouldn't do this video unless I had challenges to do it, and quite a few people have come through, and some pretty good challenges actually too. But before I get to that, one of the things I've got to mention a little bit is that we are in Pacific Coast time. So Greenwich Mean Time is when the challenge gets set. So we are, I think, 7 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time. So whenever you make a challenge, generally for most of the people in the world, you're gonna have to make it a day ahead of time. Excuse me, got hair on my face here. So when you make a challenge for me on the 31st of October, it's probably gonna have to be made on the 1st of November for me to get the challenge by the time the challenge starts, and that's when I gotta make the video. So for me to actually get the challenge tokens, you have to consider the time zone that we're in versus the time zone that the challenge has been set, which is Greenwich Mean Time. So when people make the challenge for their time zone, it's usually past the time here for me to make the video. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but just it's easy to figure out once you understand it. It's just that Greenwich Mean Time is basically Zulu, which is what airlines travel on, airline pilots use around the world, so everybody's on the same time zone. We'd like to change that. I know it's a little confusing for people, but just think, when you make me a challenge, just make it in advance. Just give me a couple days. So if you want me to do a challenge for the 3rd of November, make the challenge for like the 4th or the 5th. And then that way I can accept the challenge before the time actually starts. So some of the stuff, and I got some really good challenges tonight. I'm gonna try to read a few of them, that's why I got my glasses on. Hopefully if I can get this thing held right and read at the same time, which is gonna be a little bit difficult because I've never done this before. Let's see if I can find the page where I wrote these challenges down. If I don't, I'll just have to do them from memory. And I hope I'm not moving you around too much, because you look like you're going all over the place there. So let's see here. If you haven't figured it out, oh, here we go. There we go. So let's just get you all dialed in here. Okay, the first challenge I had was from HEZ DCN Boogie. And the challenge was for me to talk about Boyd. And if you've never heard about Boyd before, it's a pretty good project. I had heard about Boyd before, but I hadn't actually researched it as much as I did because of this challenge. Basically what Boyd is, it's the CPU mining of your computer. So Boyd, to get Boyd tokens, if you use the app, or I think from the from the website, you can download a CPU. You can download an application where you can mine CPU from your computer. And by mining CPU from your computer, which is running in the background, or which CPU you're not using, you actually get these Boyd tokens. It's a very cool project. And I'm going to link a video to it. Actually, the guy that does the video, I don't know if he's one of the founders or not. He's got a beard pretty much like this, except it's not gray. He's wearing a stocking cap and does a really nice job of talking about it. I like the Boyd project. I think it's a great idea. The CPU mining from the EOS blockchain, earning Boyd tokens, is a great idea. I thought it was a really good idea. I appreciate the challenge, because it gave me an opportunity to learn something about it, and I was impressed. So Boyd is a great project, and I'm going to link a video down below. And he also gave me something here where you can get the I think Boyd app.boyd.com, disrupt.com. I'll go ahead and put that link in there too. So Boyd is a great project, and I appreciate that challenge, because I thought it was a great project. Second one is by CPT Black Build number 2, and he asks me, how do you get the challenge tokens from Nudex to the challenge app? That's another really good question. Great question so far. The way you do that is you have to transfer. You have to use, when you transfer, use challenge U, CHALLENGEYOU, as the address that you're challenging, that you're sending the tokens to. Then you will use your account in challenge as the memo name. So send the tokens to challenge you would be the address that you send them to. And then you would use in the memo your account name, and they'll go directly to your account. So the next one was Mr. Floppy, CHALL, Mr. Floppy, CHALL. He says, say hi to all the Dutch EOS holders. Hi, Dutch EOS holders. I mean, I love the Dutch EOS people. They've been great. They have a really good block channel. They've made some great videos about block producing. I think EOS Amsterdam, I met Rhett last year in San Francisco. Did a video with him, a really great guy. EOS Amsterdam, EOS Dutch, great people, and I appreciate it. And I, of course, really enjoy meeting them and hearing about what they do. They do great work. The next challenge was GARP Trader 14. Now this is an interesting challenge because this looks like it was written by Warren Buffett. Discuss EOS valuations, market cap against other blockchains based on users, transactions, value transferred, network speed, number of dApps, etc. That's a great question, and of course that's a question that would be an entire video by itself. I'm not going to go into that much detail in it, but yeah, there's a lot of meat in that question. And valuations, market cap, they're all very, very important. Of course, what's running on the blockchain, this all figures into the price. I'd have to sit down and really do some calculations to come up with a really good answer on that one. But that's a great question, and I appreciate it. And maybe I will talk about that a little bit more on a night when I'm not wearing a beard, glasses I can't see from, and my captain hat. Second thing was Ham and Cheese 13. He sent me a challenge, just make a video, hot and steamy, asked me about Dan Lermer and Brandon Bloomer. Of course, I've met Dan Lermer before. I've never met Brandon Bloomer. The thing I think it's interesting about those two guys is I think Dan Lermer was born in Colorado, I read someplace, and Brandon Bloomer was born in Iowa, and I was born in Nebraska. So we're all three Midwestern boys. I think I'm a little older than both of them, quite a bit older than both of them, but they're from neighboring states from where I grew up at, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Of course, Brendan Bloomer, Dan Lemmer, the founders, people, the EOS, basically Dan Lemmer is the technical officer, and of course Brendan Bloomer is, or was, the CEO of it. So anyway, yeah, I mean, they're great guys. I'd like to meet Brendan Bloomer someday. Dan seemed like a really nice guy, real humble guy, real easy to talk to. The next one was Pacific Dream Meetup. Well, okay, wants to meet up someplace. Peter, someplace, I think it was in Vista, which Vista is just a city real close to where we're at. Another was Challenge Me 5, wants to meet at, check some art out on Sunday. Another great challenge. So yeah, I got some really good challenges, and I appreciate those challenges. You really exceeded my expectation as far as this was concerned, because I had a lot more than that. I didn't get them all written down, and I got a lot of them today and the other day too. So I'll be talking some more about some of these challenges. So if you want to create a challenge for me, challenge app, download it from the Google Play Store or from the Apple App Store. It's Challenge and Fun in the Apple App Store, and just create a password. And we use a numeric password, so you come up with numbers, and then just create the challenge, and I'd be happy to do it for you. And of course, make it out at least 2 days ahead from where you're at. So if you make the challenge on November 1st, try to make it for the 3rd or 4th for me, because we are one of the last time zones in the world. And by the time I get some of these challenges, it's already past the date that I can accept the challenge. So if I rejected your challenge, it's not because I didn't do the challenge, it's because I'd already gotten it past the time the challenge started. And I have to get it prior to the time the challenge starts for me to actually get the tokens. So that's the way we've got it set up. So make it out a few days ahead. I think I got some challenges for tomorrow night and probably the night after. But if you want to make some more challenges for me, keep them coming. Just give me a challenge. I get 20 free tokens, and challenge me for whatever you like to challenge me for, and I'd be happy to talk about it. And I like talking about projects, other projects to the EOS, because you get so focused in on your own project, you forget all the other stuff going on. And like Boyd, a great project that I was aware of, but really hadn't followed that closely until someone had asked me to do that. There's a few others out there that I think people have asked me to do a video on that I'd like to take a look at and talk a little bit about. So lots of good stuff going on. Of course, price, I think, is holding in there, and we'll see. I think the rest of the year is going to be pretty good for us. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.